So number 4, the two equations are x plus 3y equals, is it 1?
Yeah.
And the other one is? Thank you. So the first thing we said, we had to make sure what? I have one equation where y is by itself. Do I have one equation where y is by itself?
Yes.
Perfect. So the second thing I do is I call for a sub. And who do I sub first? Y. Okay, so which am I subbing? So which is going in?
2x.
So 2x plus 5 is going into the game, and they're going into the game for y in the second equation. So you have x plus 3, because everybody else is staying, 2x plus 5, and that still equals 1. Okay, after I subbed, what do? I need to solve for x, so I am going to distribute. So I get
6x plus 15.
Good. And what else do I have on that side?
1.
Plus
1x.
x, yep. But that equals 1. Then what would I do?
Add your combined like terms.
Combine like terms. So I have x plus 6x plus equals 1. Then what do I do?
Then you do minus 15. Then
I subtract 15.
you get negative 14.
So DJ tells me I get negative 14 on the side. Do we agree?
Yeah, and then you have 7x. And then you divide 7x.
I divide by 7. Slow down.
Sorry.
X equals.
Negative.
Now what? Who do I sub now? I call for a sub for x, right? So which one do I want to use? The top equation or the bottom equation? The bottom. Okay, so I have y equals 2 times negative 2, because that's what I got, plus 5. 2 times negative 2, negative 4, plus 5. What does y equal? So it's my final answer.
Negative 2.
Negative 2, comma 1. That doesn't seem so bad, right?
It just takes a lot.
It just takes a lot, yeah.
My brain just.
And your signs will be really important, because if you mix up your signs, but if you get x wrong, you also get y wrong. Okay? Number 3, is everybody good? Zahara, you still good? Do you want to come sit up here? Brianna's gone for a little bit. You can see, okay. The two equations are y equals and negative 4x. Okay, so the first step, I need to make sure I have one where y is by itself. So I have one equation where y is by itself.
Yes.
I actually have 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my second step is I call for a sub. Who am I subbing for first? For y, which one am I going to sub? You want me to sub negative 4x for this guy? Okay, so if I sub, it's negative 4x equals x minus 9, right? If you were to sub the other way, you get the exact same thing. So if I subbed this for this y, I would get x minus 9 equals negative 4x, which is the same thing as this, right? So like I said, it doesn't matter which one you sub into. So when y's are by itself, you actually just set, if the y's are both, in both equations are by itself, you set them equal to each other. And then solve for x. Okay? So we're going to solve for x. How do you solve for x? You could, but you don't need to. What's on both sides? X. So which one do I need to move so that it's all on one side? I need to get rid of this 1x. So how do I get rid of that 1x? So I'm going to subtract x. So I'm going to subtract x here. So if I negative 4 minus 1 is, so I have negative 5x equals, and then what would I do to solve for x? Divide by negative 5. Since, yes, you can. You just get a decimal. So a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Since you don't have calculators, I will tell you it's 1.8. Tomorrow, you'll grab a calculator before you come to class. Okay, so I solve for x. Now what do I do? I call a sub and solve for y. So which equation do you want to use? The top one? Okay, so I would have y equals 1.8 minus 9. Y equals, is it going to be a positive or a negative? Negative, and it's 7.2. You would use your calculator. So what is my answer? 1.8, comma, 7, negative 7.2. Those ones aren't so bad when y's are by itself, right? A little less work. Okay, if you look at number 2, it's going to be really similar to the one that we just did, right? If you look at number 1, though, you already know the value of what? You already know what y equals. What does y equal? 4. So on number 1, you honestly only have to solve for x. So number 1's pretty short, and number 2's just like we did on number 3. So you are good to go for your homework for the last of it.